going on, world? This is G.com of MMAJones.com with a recap video of the main event. I'm just going to talk about the main event. I might talk about a couple other fights, but the main event of UFC 193. Holy shit, it did not disappoint. It didn't disappoint the casual fan, and it did not disappoint the true MMA faithful fan. So let's jump right off into it. Wow, what can I say? I was one of the guys, I'm gonna admit, I had Ronda Rousey going in there, imposing her will, bum rushing, putting Holm against the fence, taking her down, and getting some limb to break off. Either that, or she was gonna, I didn't see her really outboxing Holm, and I was one of the guys that also said that if Holm does keep her at bay, that she will start to wear Ronda out, because this last weight cut, Rousey did not look that spectacular. She did not look too impressive, to be honest. And plus, besides that, we've never really seen her conditioning past the first round, because she always finishes chicks, super early. So that was always on trial anyways, her lungs, which we found out. But holy shit, I'm gonna tell you what I am surprised about. I'm surprised at Holm's takedown defense and how she deflected those throw attempts. Because once Ronda Rousey gets you in position and you're about to go over a hit, point blank period, that judo kicks in and it's over. Especially once she gets you on the ground, and it's Ronda's world down there. But what surprised me the most, besides the fucking KO, was Holm's ability to deflect the fucking throw. And on top of that, she took Ronda down. And that was one of the jaw-dropping moments in the MMA period, when she had, the main one was when Ronda Rousey had Holm on the ground, and you just knew that she was going to get a fucking arm out of there. You know what I'm saying? It looked like she was going to yank Holm's arm, and that was going to be the fight. But Holm is a strong woman. Like, she is fucking cut. Like, she's chiseled out of diamond, goddamn. I mean, if you look at her shoulders, arms, like, her conditioning is impeccable. And her lungs are fucking amazing. I mean, goddamn, she was keeping the same pace. She wasn't wasting energy. She wasn't wasting movement. I mean, it was typical boxing. It was a boxing clinic, peppering you from the outside. I mean, even to the point where, like, it was just embarrassing for Ronda. I mean, Ronda's stand-up, Winklejohn was, he was giving interviews stating that Ronda has holes in her game, and I think, everybody in the MMA world pretty much understood that the holes in Ronda's game was the stand-up, the fucking wasteful movements, wasting of energy in her movement. She doesn't really know how to fucking move her head. Footwork is sloppy. She's only looking to clinch and take you down. Any boxing that Ronda engages in is only to get the takedown. Obviously, she wants to play to her strengths. You can't knock her for that. But Holm is, I wasn't looking for that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't looking for Holm to finish the fight, and in that fashion. She shocked everybody, you know what I'm saying, including me. And I'm not going to be one of the ones. And I also want to say that a lot of people were kind of, people who, like, a year ago and some change were, Ronda Rousey fucking diehard fans. All of a sudden, there seemed to be like a, I hate to use WWE terms and shit, but it was almost like a heel turn for Ronda Rousey with these embeddeds, and it just seemed like the UFC was kind of overdosing us on Ronda Rousey. Which, I still like Ronda, like, I think she needs to tone some of the emotional shit down and not let all this Hollywood glitz and glamour and fucking red carpets get her away from the humility and the gratefulness of having an opportunity to be the one who pioneers women's MMA. Like, that's a huge task, you know what I'm saying? And she helped pioneer that, and for that she gets props, you know what I'm saying, even though she dropped the belt. But I think a lot of that too many yes people. Her coach in the corner, after the first round was saying, "Oh, you're doing great," and all this other shit. You need to stick with it. And he was putting batteries in her back to stand there and bang with fucking Holly. And it was to her detriment because you saw what happened. When and Holly basically controlled the distance and made Ronda chase her around. But I think it's about time for Ronda Rousey to get a real fucking training camp. I mean, obviously, her training camps got her this far, but that was the end of the line. And we saw it, I don't want to use the word exposed, but she kind of got exposed, man. That stand-up was definitely fucking exposed. When she, and people are saying, "Oh, boxing beat judo." No, it was a complete striker, kickboxer, boxer, just all around great striker who also showed grappling skills. That's one of the things that none of us were really looking for, was Holly Holm to deflect that judo and Holly Holm to win on the ground, win in the scramble, get the fuck up, and control it back on the feet. And it was fucking art. That's the best way to say it. It was fucking art. What Holly Holm did in this fight was pure mixed martial arts artwork. And like I said, with the heel turn of Ronda Rousey, the overdose, and in the UFC now having to pick up the pieces and see how they're going to package and market Holly Holm. I think Holly Holm winning the belt is great for fucking MMA. I think it's great for not just women's MMA, but MMA period, because she looks the part. She's a good champion. I mean, she's humble. She even got low down to see if Ronda was okay after she knocked her out. Like that takes class. That takes good sportsmanship. I mean, everything that you would want in a champion, she showed last night. So, I gotta say, man, Holly Holm is the truth, man. She's the real deal. And I think Misha Tate will probably be up next. But I see Holly Holm dismantling a lot of chicks because she's only going to get better. And that fucking training camp down there with John Jones and all those guys, I mean, it's hard to beat that environment. They have faith in this woman, and she did not let them down. She came through. She executed the game plan, kept the distance, and made Ronda Rousey look silly. But I think Ronda Rousey will come back. I think she will drop this coach, who he's respected in the MMA world. I don't know too much about him, but I do know that he's kind of, he was putting batteries in her back like he had something to prove, using a proxy of Ronda. And, you don't want coaches doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want a coach trying to, have some kind of ego and pressing it on their fighter and get the fighter hurt. And that's what I feel like he did with Ronda. And, with all the emotional shit and everything she brought in there, it just spelled disaster. So, but with that said, it was a great fucking night of fights. I was kind of surprised Uriah Hall didn't do that well, but, it's one of those things. The rest of the fights were kind of lackluster in my opinion. It wasn't like the fucking... The main event saved the card for me. But with that said, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. MMAJones.com.